something, or if that hasn't been established yet.
No, that needs to be established as soon as possible.
All right.
I can bring it up.
Director, do you want to get on that? Establish a list of people that are confirmed sanguine, start getting warrants placed out?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
There's going to be a tag that's going to be added, as well as a document with the list of names. So we know who's confirmed and who is on effectively the watch list.
Gino, to clarify your question, are you assuming for those who stay behind, like the sanguine people who may be over here?
Potentially, flee to this, to Los Santos from the island.
Yeah,
I mean, vice
there
versa,
should
whatnot.
all. There'll be like a most wanted list on the bulletin board, and there'll be warrants as well that you can check. Just trying to make sure we get the paperwork done.
I mean, and if we capture, like, some of these people will, I'm going to be honest, some of these people might get executed. We capture them. Some of them will get 30 years. Some of them might get fucking executed. Some of them might get life in prison.
Oop.
Go ahead.
A couple questions. So, first question is this going to be around the shift operation? So is shift one, early shift 1 and shift 3 going to be operating on sanguine as well? Should we?
I think that's more of a commissioner thing.
What do you mean by that, Richard?
As in, is it going to be around the clock operation? Are you expecting people from every shift to be active on the island?
If they're able, whoever can show up basically. Whoever's able and got the time for it.
I don't think that was Dark. If you're asking about conflicts, we don't anticipate the heavy fighting to be occurring during shift 3, but people may, of course, still try to breach that perimeter in early shift 1. But the main bulk of the fighting is expected late shift 1 and into shift 2.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Second question: did the Senate specifically request that Captain Moosebeard not negotiate with Jaeger yesterday?
No, never specifically requested that.
Well, can we, for a second, we all love Moosebeard, but his rank isn't captain.
Yeah, it is.
When it comes to official matters, absolutely not.
Is SRU not official?
You being a smartass, I think what he means here is his rank is not captain. He is not a member of high command. I think
his rank concerning non-SRU things.
I think that's pretty
captain, sure.
pretty basic. I think that it's pretty easy to understand what he meant by that.
Well, we're calling Brian director, right? And isn't his director title just part of the MCU?
Yeah, but director's not another rank that was previously acknowledged in the chain of commands. 4 months ago, captain was a rank of high command. I want to clarify that captain isn't an official title anymore in the PD.
That's not your fault, Richard.
Sea captain, there you go.
Oh, okay. So it's just a naming convention issue.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were just trying to downplay what he does.
No, he's nope.
Just trying to answer the question why a rank equivalent to senior deputy wasn't given negotiating power over a foreign nation.
I mean, I said negotiations. I was okay with Crane, commissioner, really high command. I don't think that is a crazy expectation that a senior deputy would negotiate with a foreign country.
Well, the message got from Crane when that 48 announcement came out that said the Senate expects the commissioner, director of MCU involved in the operation, and to do the negotiation for the forward operating base. That's what I got told in that conversation.
Yep.
So
Like I said, commissioner is the first person that comes to mind. You're at the top. So go ahead.
I had to throw something in there, guys.
When are we going to start setting up the fob on the island? Are we going to do that day of the attack, or are we going to try?
Commissioner, you want to do that day of? I'm assuming.
Stubble, how do you feel about it?
Bones, you know what the answer is. You want us to go over there right now and just go into Sanguine and do the fob?
Well, no, I'm asking, are we doing it? Because we said that we were doing early attacks earlier in shift 1 that day.
We can try. We can try and set a fob, or we can do some skirmishes. I've half the mind to try and get some aerial fights going and try and take out what little aircraft they have now and over the next few days. Just because we want to do the invasion on Monday doesn't mean that we have to start fighting on Monday. Because what's to stop them coming over here? So
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna start. I think we're gonna start getting dirty real quick, and the fight is on. But we're not gonna be setting foot on land of Sanguine until Monday.
Got you. Let me get clarity, just for the meeting's sake. Is this to ask questions, or is this talking tactics and stuff like that?
Stubble, I'd assume that this is just questions, and then we could all talk tactics afterwards with the people that want to be involved. Do you still have questions for me or the commissioner?
I think one of you could answer it.
Whoever could answer it.
Go ahead.
What's the plan with the island after this whole thing blows over?
Good question.
Probably just sink that shit.
Could build an all-inclusive on it.
What is your opinion on the idea to make it a prison island and give it to the DOC?
Oh,
I'd entertain it. I'd think about it at least.
Yeah. And then we could put like the mountain lions there.
Any ideas for it is something I'll at least hear out.
I'd like to
Idea would
schedule a
be.
meeting.
Go ahead.
All right. Noted.
Change the name to Australia, make it a prison island, like Stubble said.
Well, Australia too.
That's an insult
Yeah.
to Australia, though.
yeah.
That's kind of fucked up.
This is shit.
New
dude. There's
Australia.
no
It's
Australians
a bad
around.
take for my dad. Excuse my dad, everyone.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
you're 100 years too late, Bison.
It's got bad takes.
Like 200, 300. I don't know.
Yeah.
300?
I wonder if voted second for Vibe Killer.
Yep.
Next question.
Alcatraz, Bison.
Is it my turn?
Oh. Man with the orange hair, you can go.
When are we getting training for this invasion?
Commissioner.
Double.
Every day.
Oh my God.
Every day until we go.
Oh,
We started
okay.
training like yesterday, day before with parachute training. The negotiations made things kind of like fall apart, and the backlash and trying to remedy what's been happening the last 24 hours stalled it. But tomorrow we're getting everything in order once we do the battle plan today. So
The Russians
Oh,
were
yeah.
back.
We'll be
Thank
running
you.
drills.
yeah.
They were
Oh,
great.
we also did get attacked by a nuclear submarine. So that was
We fucked them.
yeah.
Man,
Yep.
So will the training commence? Like, will it continue today?
Maybe. Depends how long it takes to plan. We're planning an invasion of an entire island. That's just not going to take 10 minutes.
That's not what I was.
Things will be
assuming.
announced.
just a weekend.
Yeah, well, it's better than a day. We could be going over there tomorrow, so.
Not wrong.
Listen, on that, I'll just make a quick note. We're going to try and be as transparent as we can be through this whole situation, obviously without compromising, operational security or anything like that. So, just understand we can't tell you everything, but we're going to tell you as much as we can. Okay? Just bear with us.
Can't you tell us everything if we're going to war for this?
Phones get hacked. People get hacked. If you're having a conversation about something we've told you and that gets in the hands of the enemy, then that puts a lot of lives at risk. So,
Are we already putting our lives at risk, though, going to war?
only if you
If
choose
you don't
to.
want to, then don't go.
No, that's
No,
fine.
no one's putting a gun to your head.
True. I'm just curious why things.
No,
are
I
still
understand.
kinda
I mean,
being
to
told.
answer the question directly, there is a chain of command for a reason because only a certain amount of people need to know a certain amount of information, and it's a tiered system, right? So there is stuff that the senator knows that I don't know. There is stuff the commissioner knows that I don't know, and because
So
you're a
Brian
sergeant,
knows that nobody
there's a lot of
knows.
stuff that you don't know, and people below you are going to know even less than you. It's a tiered system where we make information available to the lowest level that needs to know. And the answer is you probably just don't need to know the answer to some of these questions right now. And like when we talk about tactics, like Bones keeps asking about, are we going to do this or that? We'll have to see on the day of. I mean, we can make plans all we want,
No,
but
it's not
on the
that.
day of, if we've been experienced fighting over the weekends, we're probably not going to try to set up a fob if we've been shot at all weekend, So we just don't have the answer to the questions because we haven't gotten to that point yet where we would know.
All right.
Agreed.
It's operational security.
Guy sitting on the filing cabinet.
Yes, thank you, Senator. This is probably for Commish, I guess. Two minor questions. Do we have our what uniform are we going to go with? I want to make sure that we all look united and
All that stuff will be announced. All the loadout, uniform, everything.
Also-
HQ will be on top of it. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Also, Commissioner, have you seen Toretti? I'm just concerned. I haven't seen him in a few days.
We're all
Good
very
question.
concerned.
And I know he's been
Stop
close with
raising my
Divine
blood pressure,
in the
please.
past. So
We're all concerned.
I-
He's
I-
about to wake up.
I reached out to the commissioner. He is unfortunately very busy right now.
okay, have we
Did you
confirmed
say
that
what
he's
he's
not on
busy
the
with?
island though?
I think he's got a little bit of stress on him. I asked him a couple hard questions the other day and he passed out.
Okay.
So he's
He
probably
does have
getting
high
some
blood pressure.
well-needed
He's got a
rest.
history of
That just
that.
sounds
We
like
were
you're
talking about that
getting
need to
things-
know basis. Need no basis.
Okay.
Commissioner's not currently here.
Okay.
I feel weaker.
Tome.
Does that wrap up all the questions?
So Teredia didn't fly.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How many of the PD resources are going to be utilized in the war?
All of it.
Helicopters, vehicles.
Divine would only
Yep,
fought
we're
for
going to
a
use as
reason,
much as we can.
so
All that's available.
Something happened.
Well, I mean, Stubble will make that call, honestly, because like I said, HV2 will make that call. They know the resources we have, and based on how much we need to reserve and how much we need to use in this raid operation.
Tails, you just got in here, right?
Yes.
We're getting a lot of military stuff shipped for the invasion, but we're also going to have a lot of that on the streets for the offense. So, yeah, there's probably going to... You might be missing out 1 or 2, and maybe there's going to be some PD boats out, but that doesn't mean there isn't going to be tanks drove in the streets. Just because people won't be going to the invasion doesn't mean people in San Andreas are going to be left defenseless. The state still needs to function.
We got to watch our back while we proceed forward.
And tactics will probably be discussed in a smaller circle after this meeting.
Tome.
I got another question.
Go ahead.
You good, Jen?
ATC has been utilized a lot during this. Are we planning on moving it anywhere or protecting it in some way, especially because MRPD is probably going to be the first place they attack?
That's a good question.
The answer to that question is we've been trying to get ATC moved or allow people to access ATC at any of the sheriff stations for years. The answer is probably no. Probably not going to happen.
Does Axel know?
Weekends. So try not to get bombed.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to ask. I'm going to try to make some phone calls tonight. Dispatch for you. Maybe have it on the aircraft carrier. That would be pretty good for us.
I mean, putting in Sandy too.
Or Sandy. Or just somewhere different than Mission PD.
Yeah.
I have a different question. I do not show any intention of potentially going, but I'm not opposed to defending it when they do come here. Are we going to have any defense tactics instead of only attacking tactics?
Yeah, I think we're going to have some defense tactics. Like I think Stubble said, we'll probably leave behind someone from Command or High Command to run that. Gonna kind of another question is going to be kind of on the day of how many people turn up, how many people are staying back.
That's exactly right.
That's going to be a day of question.
It's hard to plan for uncertainty.
Out, please.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, like I said, we'll have plenty of hours to also make sure the right people are in the right position before we do anything. We're not going to proceed moving forward without making sure that y'all in the state here are protected and got what you need.
Maybe wise, perhaps looking at the PD train tickets for that particular day.
Yes, I'm already on that. We'll be bumping a lot of people.
All right.
Really gonna do? I don't think we can expect it to just be one day. Surely not.
All right, we're all done.
This is too much
I guess so.
silence for me.
Last
Oh my
call.
God.
All right, thanks everyone for coming. We'll probably hold back a few people to talk about tactics. I think let's just call it a commands.
Command HV2 probably should step back.
Command HV2U. Everyone else
Certainly
can get
as well.
lost.
Just go fix the car and gas it up. I'll be back.
Mayor as well.
Oh, you're gonna be gone for like 2 hours, dude.
No.
Damn.
Everybody else, hit the streets. Go
Damn, I see you got
get some
problems.
food, whatever.
What?
Excuse me.
Stubble, you don't
I'm
need
going
an
back to the
HSPU supervisor, do
Oh my
you?
God, everyone move.
Why not?
why not?
Fury,
What about-
Fury took all those recon
like a
pictures. He should
ta-
stay.
table with a
Brittany
bag,
Angel's not around, then you can probably flip her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I
did not
still
plan to
think
go.
they're
I plan
full.
to
I'm
stay in
waiting
the
till
mainland.
it
If
kind
you
of
need people
Yell into
get
the crowd
empty, and then I
before
can
we
get
do it.
sending shit out, you let me know, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
Axel, would you like us to stay here? Or do you think
you
we're-
should.
Okay.
You should.
All right, we'll stay
Even
here.
DOC, if you can stay as well, please.
You look like a Bond villain.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like the meetings
Yeah,
are
I
what
just
kind of
did some
like make
very
people not want to go. More than anything else.
What did you say, Bryson?
Yeah,
It feels like the meetings are what make people not want to go for some reason.
Each meeting makes it worse. I don't know what it is.
Wait, is that what happened?
Yes,
No.
that's what happened with the debrief. That's what happened with this was people are like
Tables.
more and more people are just like,
Alright.
I don't know about this.
All right, everyone, cozy.
Oh.
Yep.
Sir.
Sit down, choose the chairs. I'm just here for the C word that I was banned from using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all see the photo on the projector right there?
It's a mine.
That
Yeah,
is a
the water
mine.
mine.
I see 3 mines. I can't see it.
All right,
Can't see it.
we-
Sorry.
Andy, sit down.
Moospit, this is very important for you.
I don't wanna.
You see it now?
Yeah, no, we've seen these before.
Yeah. So the entirety of the island is surrounded by them, and
Don't know where we can clear any of those at all, Bit?
well, according to the MCU reconnaissance team, there are a few areas where it's clear. You see here? You have this ravine. This, if you want to go to reports and look at Island Intel SDSO report from 1 hour ago, 90523. I'm going to be creating a small kind of area on Owen Discord, and we're going to compile like the reports, the investigations, the evidence, so we can all look here and we know what's going on. However, the
Holy shit, they got
kind
close.
of valley area is labeled as
Holy
being
shit.
on the north side, right by the airstrip. So if you look at photo 5, valley location, this entrance is right by the airstrip. And the first thing that we need to secure when we're going over there is going to be that airstrip. As Owen has said consistently today, we need to just plan a lot of the things on the day of. We can't have like an elaborate plan. We're like, okay, we're going to have X amount of squads. We're going to have, a Bravo team, an Alpha team, and Charlie. We're going to have them there and there and there. We just realistically, we can't do that because we don't know what we're dealing with. I don't know if we're going to have 30 members of PD or 50. I don't know if we're going to have 10 members of DOC or 20. We have a general idea of what vehicles we have. We have an idea of what's going to be sweet, what's going to be good. But the reality is a lot of this is going to be the day of. There's going to be general checkpoints that we need to prioritize during this attack if we're going to be able to be successful. And the first thing is going to be securing that airstrip. The airstrip is right next to, if I grab a picture. It is right
Might as
next
well
to
get
the
comfortable.
aircraft carrier. If you look right here, that's the aircraft carrier. That airstrip is the closest bit of land. So it's the easiest thing for us to get to from the aircraft carrier.
Makes sense
but
for
it's also
resupply.
going to mean that if we control it, they're going to have no fixed wing aircraft. They're still going to have anti-air and they're still going to have helicopters. But in order to destroy the anti-air and the helicopters, we need to get rid of that fixed wing, and that means getting that airport first. So depending where they have their anti-air, it could be if I mark it here. They could have it here. They could have it here, and that means we're not going to be able to utilize our helicopters or jets on the assault on that airstrip. It's going to be a purely ground assault. So what does that mean vehicle-wise? We're not going to be able to cargo bomb our tanks. We're not going to be able to cargo bomb our transports. We're only going to be able to use stuff from scuba, people swimming, submarines, and hopefully some APCs. So APCs, as you don't know, that's pretty much a tank that could go in the water. BRDM, it's going to have a massive machine gun. We have credible proof that they have them themselves. I don't know if they're going to be at the bottom, at the middle, or the north side of the island, but we need to go first with those APCs when we're getting on shore. So that valley that we just saw in the airstrip is around X right there, if you look at it. That's going to be the first thing that we assault, is APCs right through the middle, and we get that airstrip, and we're going to push to the eastern side of the airstrip where there's a hangar and a couple of buildings. That is going to be our base of operations on the on the island. The forward operating base is going to be on that airstrip. We're going to be able to land our jets. We're going to be able to have a good back and forth communication line between the island and the aircraft carrier and mainland if we get that airstrip. So it's number one priority. We do that first. Once we get that, there's a bunch of different ways we could go about it. You have the mansion to the south, you have the harbor, but it kind of is like a of-the-day situation. How many are we going to have able to parachute? How many riflemen are we going to have? And it's going to be kind of like do we go for the harbor in the center or go for the mansion and then the harbor? Any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What if they're counting on us taking that airfield first? Because it's, to be honest, the most obvious thing to take first.
We've got to hit them somewhere else.
With the weaponry we just tested at Fort Zancudo, I think we're going to be able to get some anti-air and maybe our tanks on the top of the aircraft carrier, and they're going to be pretty much just our cannons, basically, covering that assault.
Copy. All right.
So that's my intention. They're not going to be able to do anything to the ground units with air if we're covering that airspace with our own, quote-unquote anti-air. Now, if we secure that airfield, I'd actually like us to cargo bomb our anti-air from the aircraft carrier to the mainland, and then we're going to put those in some of our vehicles and move them around. They'll have anti-air towards the south and the center, and then we'll have it to the north. It's going to be kind of like a game of Battleship where we're motoring around.
So the
Any
goal
other
is
questions?
the goal is like the main hangar on the east side of the island, and then what's the main goal after that? Just push until we get through, or are we gonna like take sections at a time, or do our best to rather?
So that's why, this isn't a, hey, I've got an idea. The entire point of this conversation, this meeting, is for us to play against each other. People have ideas and it's suggestions. So there's a bunch of different things. Like I said, we could parachute people to the southeast side down here, and then we could have them sneak in and try and secure the mansion. And then we could have the people from the airstrip go to the south, and then the people from the mansion could go north, like a pincer move. Or we could just focus everything from the north and sweep down south, and then have them like a rat in a corner pushed against the cliffside with the mansion.
I definitely think it's a good
what we
idea
decide here
to.
today.
I definitely think it's a good idea to have one or two teams come in from the bottom sneakily. I think the issue is going to be
it's all cliffside.
Well, that.
Yeah,
but
you
I
can't,
think
you can't go through it.
I think the issue is going to be if they are somehow able to sneak in, they're gonna as soon as they have to take someone out, they're gonna go loud really quick. And then like next thing you know, like everybody's gonna be focused on them because they're closer to the mansion than the people up north.
We need grappling guns. That would solve our problem from the valley side.
Hey, Muller, tell Axel the bad news.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe there's like a padlock on it, but we can't use those grapple guns.
Yeah,
I keep
The
dropping them every
police
time.
padlock, yeah.
Nice.
I will say, as double for your planning here, that villa is a natural hard point. So if you're slogging it north to south and the villa's the last stand, that's going to be
Holy
very
shit.
tough to crack.
Yeah.
I think taking that at the same time.
Are those photos in the report so we can look at them ourselves?
Yeah.
That one's not.
Question. Report, but
I
we'll
can
have
change
that
it if you
for
want.
HVTU. Yeah.
What
because that's
about
the report from now.
what about suppressed weaponry?
It's being requested, but
yeah,
we'll find out.
Stobo, if you want to show, if I don't know if you can bring that map back up, but show that high ground area, the highest point of the whole island. I think that would be a good spot for snipers to be.
Mission.
If you want me to mark it, I can.
Are you referring to the radio tower, Bones?
Yeah.
Well, this one.
To the direct east of
Like
the
here?
mansion.
Like that?
Yeah.
Ish,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Well, good luck with everything.
See you, Neil.
There's
That
a
is
good
pretty
picture of it.
tall.
Hold on, right here.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
on the right side, you've got the aerial tower.
Have snipers set up there.
It's going to be incredibly hard. So they're going to be using like thermals throughout all of this. They've got access to them, and they're going to be having like sniper rifles as well. Getting that high ground before they're already set up is going to be nigh on impossible unless we storm it, and then it's going to be loud from that.
Well, you can
I
bomb
think
it from
that's
above, right?
Well, that's the thing. I think that's an obvious point where they're gonna have anti-air on the highest point, so they can see everything.
So their anti-air isn't a fixed position anti-air; it's a trailer that attaches to their BRDM. that they
Right,
can
so that's
pull
even
around.
more deadly.
So they can literally just tack it on, and then all of their BRDMs can just circle the entirety of the island
Yeah,
and just
so
be
that-
used wherever.
The anti-air is also armored ground support, so getting close to it and getting it taken out is probably the biggest problem we need to solve.
Yeah.
Now, the senator did say that if we could find some decommissioned explosives and we could rearm them, then that's all fair. If there's any materials we could get from evidence lockers, as long as it's not an open investigation or a case on the docket, then it's fair to utilize. A lot of that is going to be broken and disheveled, and I think we should be relying on probably getting special stuff shipped in.
I mean, and the reality is, this is war, ladies and gentlemen. If
Can you speak up, Senator?
Yeah, I can. This is war, ladies and gentlemen. If there's a man out of position on their side and you gun them down, you drag their ass back to the fob. You take, if they have a rocket launcher, you take that fucking rocket launcher and use it against them.
Yeah.
This is fucking war.
Is that what you want us to do with targets? Bring it back to the.
Yeah,
I'll leave that up to Stubble, but I'm just giving an example.
If it is safe to retrieve somebody from the other side, then we should prioritize doing that.
Okay.
Treat them like a 95 in custody. If you want to hand them off to someone, then it's fine. I believe.
What's going on in here?
Marco, you need to step out.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Dumbass.
I'm assuming it's already done, but anybody that's in custody is just going to be automatically approved by Senate and Command and High Command for a 24-hour hold off the rip, and everything can be sorted out after the fact.
Anybody on that island's getting trees in 30 years.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Okay, so
Get them
So-
treatment, get them sorted out. But if you need to go back to fighting, then don't worry about it.
We don't have an overall plan because it has to be in the day of, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But we have general objectives like the first step is to take the airfield, second step is to try our best to take out the anti-air, and then so on and so forth.
I still think taking the airfield and the mansion at the same time is a good
I think
idea.
it's crazy.
No, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
See, I'm
That's two extremely.
They are going to have the majority of their forces at the mansion.
That's cutting their supply line too.
I
The
think
most
what someone said
objective
is
way
oh, go ahead.
possible. You're not taking that mansion with whoever you send there immediately.
I
It's
agree.
not
You need
gonna
I
happen.
think that
vehicles.
cuts us in
Right.
half.
You are
That's what
sending
I'm worried
whoever you
about, right,
send
yeah.
there, they will die.
That's going to be basically their castle, right? They're going to fortify their teeth.
And
Like a small village.
And
Any
I
other
know
worry-
that place. No, go ahead, Mo.
Sorry, no, go ahead. You say your bit.
Like I know if worst comes to worst, we siege the rest of the island and just leave the mansion.
I agree
it would
with
be like
Barrett.
Fort Knox, but it's better to have everybody in one spot, us
So
as
we can
well,
recuperate.
to siege one place and just be spread out along the island.
I agree.
What we do Snow is bomb it to keep pressure on it, or cut off their supply lines as they try to leave, because that's where the air
But
is
what
going to come
bombers do we
there.
have?
You know, chuck me a. We don't have any bombs, so if you get me a bomber, then yeah, we can do that.
I thought the one we had, we're testing out.
No,
was dropping
that-
bombs.
No, sir. So
the
when you
A-10?
have multiple weapons on an aircraft in this city, this has been a thing for a very long time. You just can't switch between them. It's just hard. Yeah.
Okay,
Another
quick
thing,
question.
A lot of our aircrafts are not equipped
yeah,
with
yeah,
flares
yeah.
that were shipped in via the military company. So if we can get flares, the anti-air is less of a problem. But for now, that's like you're asking for death if you go up in the air. But against that,
But also,
I've
if we
got an
take the
idea.
airstream-
Perhaps send in 2 submarines on the eastern side of the island. There is that valley over there,
Valley's
just
on the
north
north
of where
side.
the cliffs.
Yeah.
I believe there's a second one on the eastern
Put
side.
the picture back up just so we can
can
see
we
what you're
double
talking
There,
about.
there should be a gap in the mines on the eastern side as well. And the cliff face is small enough there to be able to climb up. You could send a team of probably 6 to 8 people to run as a flank squad on the island.
Do you mean the
Yes.
cove area of the valley where there's like a little stadium?
Picture, please.
More to the
The
western
only thing
side
I have
of
on
where
the
the
east
radio
side-
tower is.
This is the only picture on the east side. It just says east
Yeah.
side mine gap. So that's
Yeah,
somewhere on the
there
east.
is a way to get through the mines on the eastern side, and you could send a team in there to, first of all, just gather the recon of where their forces are primarily located.
Look, judging from that photo, this is on the southeast corner.
Me? You could have them be able to locate where exactly the anti-air is, and perhaps have them just try to strike at the anti-air while we're attempting to take out the airport to split
Muller-
their forces.
Muller, what did you say that they had? What equipment?
We're gonna
Thermals.
have like at least 4 to 8 BRDMs. They'll then have like trailers, which are the trailer is like imagine like the little boat trailer that you can attach to a bison. It's like one of those.
I wonder if we can.
That is also
Should we
manned
spike all
individually as
the
well. So then
BRDMs?
it's just going to be constant movement. Then they'll more than likely have any like thermals or snipers set up around as well.
Can we get thermals, please?
Keyword is we can.
Yeah, we
get
are.
them.
We are.
We already-
It's on the
but-
list. It's on the list.
But the keyword is they will have thermals, so any kind of stealth secret thing doesn't fucking work.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the problem, right?
Stealth stuff doesn't work, but also this is going to be an incredibly sad and boring little job for someone to do. South of the very southern side of the mansion, there's like a little balcony down ramp. There's a door that goes through there into an underwater tunnel, which then goes into that southern cove. So if we start holding out on the northern side of the mansion, say we ever do get that far, you have to be prepared for them to just evacuate through there because they can swim out.
Hell, if somebody can sneak in and place a bomb in there, that'd be great.
Well, so I think there's like a lever system that locks it, so they can lock it from the inside. I'd love to be able to.
Can we not just charge it? Record it?
I don't think it's this. It's not the same like that.
Oh,
There's,
okay.
There's like a long passage tunnel that you have to swim through, and it's relatively dark in there, and then you appear back up top.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Even if we dead cord it, it's gonna be very loud and you're fucked.
Yeah, the job end of the day would be one submarine unit just sits there watching that, waiting for them to come out, and then they're like fish in the water from that point.
Is tear gas out of the question for the main compound? I'm not sure what
Senator.
If if they hand us tear gas the day of, then all's fair.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I mean, are we expecting? We're expecting them to be in that HQ, yeah.
At some point, I'd imagine they'll fall back to it. Maybe not the entire time, but at some point they'll probably fall back to that. Yeah.
I mean, even just focusing air units and just hitting that thing hard when they do fall back will probably do enough damage too.
Got it.
So, the first pot you want to take after the airfield, is it in that small yellow box up top? Is that what you're talking about?
The hangar.
Yes. Yeah. Is that hangar? Because I was looking at the gray box over to the right of that on the west side of the island, or east side of the island.
I don't fucking see nothing.
So can you put up photo?
The small
airfield
yellow
number 4? Yeah, there you go.
No.
This is the picture.
I think he was asking the harbor area, the middle box. He was asking if that's going to be the next place that you guys take.
No. Okay, put up the map, please. Pretty please. So the small yellow box at the very top, that's our first objective. That's where we want the FOB to be, right?
That's the picture I just posted. That's the airport hangar.
Yeah, that's where you want the FOB to be.
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking you were talking about the one on the far right, at the top, at the northeast. That's the one I thought you were
That's
talking
not a
about.
box. That's like a separate small harbor.
Yeah.
I can give you a picture of that is.
Well, I mean, if the
It should be within the first view, Stubble.
So if the top box.
I want to ask a question.
You have to use the grids.
Yeah, just use the grid.
Yeah, like square A1 or square A2.
All right, so if let me see. If we're supposed to be going to B4, yeah. So B4 is our original FOB. That's where we want to go.
Yeah, well, we're gonna land on B4.
Yeah, and then take the airfield.
I'm getting closer. I can't fucking see nothing.
C1, right? So we're protected by the aircraft carrier. So we're on that north and western beach, and then we're gonna push up to pretty much.
I'm not a thoughtful person.
And then because you have looks like tree cover. Is that correct from the photos? Is there like?
There's some trees on the shoreline, but there's mostly bushes around. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can utilize that to push in, secure that hangar, and once we get that, then we can start trying to get those cargo bombs pushed in. Realistically, I would also love if we're having those APCs on. Do you see Delta 4? See that little island? It is the highest peak of that island is on the southern side, and the lowest part is on the north side. So if we have our APCs on that island, we have like a natural ridge where they can use the line of sight to be covered from everything from the south. And then that way, they're able to aim from D4 towards like B4, B5, B6. They're going to have that covered.
Oh, a question for someone who hasn't been here. How big is this island? Like, if someone was to drive from the mansion to the hangar.
What's the size LSA?
It's big.
No, okay. So if someone drives from the
someone's got a
mansion
map
to the
for
hangar,
this.
how long is that going to take them in a BTR or something?
It's a dirt path, so bear that in mind. Also up and down, so like 5-10 minutes, maybe 5
Depending on
actually.
speed and what you're driving, right?
This map here is provided by the Shark Rangers and shows to scale the size, distance, and everything of Sanguine Isle compared to San Andreas. So you can see it's larger than LSIA. So you can imagine that a drive across would be about as long as it would take you to get across LSIA. You have to remember that there are no paved roads. Everything is dirt. So it's going to be about twice as long just due to that.
Nice.
On the recon photos that we did, you'll see a small map on the bottom left. You can't see them on the projector, but if you look at the photos itself,
let's go.
it will show you exactly what the area that the picture is from.
This one has it.
That's a good harbor to take too.
The way that we did it was we went from the north side of the island, or sorry, from the west, went north and did like a circle around it. Later, I put
This is
some
so cool.
photos from the western side to east, but most of the pictures that you see are taken in the from the start, obviously west to north to east, and then south in a circle, clockwise. Yeah. So essentially, going through that, you could be able to see most, if not the entire island.
And what's the report number for this story?
90519.
As the airport.
You guys did really good work with this.
Excellent work, honestly.
We were in a civilian plane for that. It was
I know.
Terrifying.
Probably terrifying, right? Which one did you use?
Yes.
And
the Vestra.
And that's the thing about reconnaissance. One of us could be caught and be a prisoner of war. It's the expectation. Everybody here should understand.
So ain't no way.
Oh, shit. This place ain't very big.
What's our plan for taking out this anti-aircraft?
I think we're probably going to want to kill him.
Shoot it with bullets and hopefully it blows up.
So, actually, hold on.
There's multiple, right? I've heard people say
So,
there's 3.
like I was telling Stubble, we're gonna have different kind of loadouts, and whenever you guys go out there, you are gonna have RPGs, anti-air, anti-tank equipment to help you take it out, right?
So where are we looking?
There'll be ways to where you will be able to be direct with your damage on it.
You guys will be able to designate targets for air units too.
Where's the mansion?
Flares, I think you said.
While I was going through
that's the mansion,
researching
the
for
big
this operation,
thing
I was
in
able
the
to go to
back.
San Andreas Library and find a picture of a BLDM in Paleto Forest like 20 years ago. So here it is right there. That's the BLDM. If you look right there
It's like
at
a
the
toy.
front, those little flaps, there's no windows, there's no glass. They're wide open, and on the right you have the driver, and on the left you have the co-pilot, the gunner. So I was talking to Bucky, the person that is going to be supplying us a lot of this weaponry, and he stated that a M4 spray to the back of this vehicle, there will be 4 grills somewhere around here, will disable the vehicle.
Stage right or stage left?
This is tiny.
Stage left.
Okay. For the driver?
Oh, Lord. Oh, for the stage left.
Which one's the gunner?
Stage right.
Okay, got it.
I don't know which one is stage left or right. Yeah.
Just the opposite from the regular.
Yeah,
that's what I guessed. I winged it. I winged it. It's like, why would you not just call it normal?
Just a
left
quick
and
note
right?
for anyone who's wondering. It's like the normal seats on a car. Driver's on the left.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Just did that in
I
my
would
head
say
real quick.
normal. I'd say like here.
It's American.
No, normal.
No. So anyway, there's gonna be
You have
4 grills
normal
in
and
the
you have
back.
European.
You can shoot the hell out of that engine grill, disable it. The armor will still be operational. The gun is still going to be online
This is
as well.
going to be the tricky
But
part
if
right
you're nice
here.
and close, then you can get around it. You can walk right
It's
up
gonna
to the
be
front
so
and just shoot
tricky.
them in the fucking face. And that's what Bucky said is the best way to take these things out. So if we
Cool.
do that, then we're also taking out the anti-air as well. Now, I don't know if I believe it, but we had a detective dealing with somebody trying to put a bomb from Sanguine on a jet yesterday. It's the thing that Mueller was dealing with during it, and was able to. You secured the bomb, right? You deactivated it. It was a.
Yeah, you can look at it in evidence locker MCU bomb, one
They
word.
tried to bomb a jet in the name of.
Yeah, you're right.
Sanguine.
I didn't know the full details about it. I just
That's what
found the bomb.
that's what's being revealed to us from the detectives. I don't know how credible it is. I don't know what her source is. I don't know what she said, but she inferred that the person that put the bomb in said that Jaeger wanted her to take out the bomb, or wanted them to take out the bomb on the jet because Jaeger is terrified of our air corps, and specifically people like Snow and Lovesick, which is also matched up with other statements because apparently Jaeger only has 1 anti-air launcher. She said anti-air rocket, but we have photos.
I'd say it's multiple.
Oh, I know
I
what
think
she's
it's like
referring
3.
to. The individual in question, he's been effectively playing both sides. So some of what he's been saying is credible, while the other, I think, is just.
Where is he now?
He's in custody.
So he's in prison currently.
I believe so. I'm gonna have to check
Is
that.
it on a charge? Is it a hold?
I can find out, sir. In
What's the name
regards
of the
to
individual?
Well, I don't think we're gonna say it right out here.
Yeah.
So hold on.
As for the
okay, go ahead.
as for the thing that she's referring to, it's the what is it? Heat-seeking rocket launcher, like the kind that can lock on.
Homing missile launcher.
Yeah, homing missile launcher, the handheld ones.
Oh.
I would assume there's multiple of those as opposed to just one.
This was what was attempted to be put on. I think it was one of the cyclones.
Could you go back to the previous picture?
What?
Was he wearing some kind of
yesterday
armored outfit, or is he wearing some kind of body armor? Well, I don't understand what that outfit was.
His mate's outfit.
It's a maid outfit.
Oh yeah, no, it's just.
Yeah, it's
Now, is that an acronym that means something like mobile, armored?
It's just a thing you.
It doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
special.
it's just his maid outfit.
MAID, mobile armored
irritation.
Iron.
It's just a dress.
Oh, okay. Copy that.
Easy mistake.
Yeah, you got me.
Is there any way? I'm concerned about us not using the aircraft in the initial assault, just because, you know, if they're prepared and they know where we're coming from, then they're just gonna keep on fortifying it, and they're just gonna move people from other places. So is there any way we can do some kind of decoy with maybe just like a civilian plane just off of the horizon down south of the mansion to try and pull that mobile AA down south, so that we can use our, you know, newly found equipment from Bucky to assault the airfield?
It's a good idea. Have some kind of like civilian plane, unarmed, fly around the south, low to the water with a parachute ready, and then when they go to take it out, you have the actual aircraft strike.
Snow, any opinions? You're gonna be one of the people running the show with these guys.
Need a volunteer for that, really. No
I
thanks.
have a.
I would love to. I just have a dentist appointment.
I think Jimbo.
No, I kind of have a crazy idea, and by all means, you could tell me maybe this isn't the most. Maybe this isn't the best.
You want to put Carmine Costello in it?
No, I don't know who that is. I want to put. I want to put the guy that we have captured right now on that plane.
What if he just 9/11s us, sir?
Tell him if he flies that plane, and he won't get treason.
Oh, a pardon.
What if he just 9/11s
I'm
us?
down, sir. I'm down.
We'll
I'll
get
save
you
one
on
of
it,
us
no
going in
problem.
there. That's better.
What the fuck?
Oh, if he starts coming towards us, we shoot him down.
All right.
Yeah, he's not gonna have any guns.
Right, did you hear
Then
that?
he gets treason.
Do we send them with a parachute or without?
Parachutes cost money, Bones.
Can we
Don't be
spare him
silly.
a parachute?
Tell him to aim for the bushes.
This is wartime. We can't spare him anything.
We just tell him the parachute's in the backseat of the plane.
All right.
It's automatic. When you jump out, it just puts one on you.
Yeah. To jump out with the seat
Try to get a
cushion.
tally of things that you need as far as parachute and things like that, so we can get them sort of
By all means, you don't have to go with that. That's just an idea.
No,
I think that's a great idea.
City, we can attach a collar to him as well. So he's not
Jesus.
Oh,
that's
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, GPS.
like a tracker, like
Oh,
an ankle bracelet.
Oh, that's a good idea. Snow Lovesick, any results from the paratrooper training the other day? You think that's something we
one
should
casualty
utilize?
from 2 jumps. Everyone seems pretty familiar. I'm trying to target people who are around about this time of day because it's going to happen at.
Wait,
this
holy
time
shit!
of
Who
day.
died?
No deaths. Just a
Who
casualty.
was the casualty?
It was Jenny actually. Jenny's
Oh my
here
God,
today.
Jenny's
She's
dead.
okay.
Oh,
It was me.
Oh,
No, I hit into you know the hard boxes on RX. You know the.
Try to avoid those.
Yeah. No, I literally tapped the corner of one and I was
Yeah.
straight on my face.
So that's the problem. You want to avoid that.
Yeah.
High altitude, low open is probably the
I
only
love
and
low
safest
altitude.
way to tackle that if you have to parachute at all. If you open it at high altitude, they're not going to not commit a war crime and shoot you out of the sky, so it's going to be bad.
I mean, I shot at that parachuter from the jet yesterday. So.
Yes, me too.
The entirety of PD did double.
Yeah, we ordered.
Yeah. You didn't.
Well, you
were
still
on the
landed
ground.
Definitely
okay,
gotta try
so
and
you
open
know.
your parachute as low to the ground as you can, because if you don't, you're sitting duck. Especially with the because you're using the RX ones, right? Which means,
Well, there'll be those or others, but they'll be the same function.
yeah, I know.
If you're over water though, and you start getting shot at while you're parachuting, just cut the chute and land in the water. You
Yeah,
probably need
for-
to pick yourself up a bit, but it's better than dying.
You can't parachute with an O2 tank, right? That's way too heavy.
Way too
Yeah, you can. People do it with Halo jumps all the time. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do you mind responding to that?
I still recommend having an oxygen tank with a parachute is probably the best way.
Yeah,
I would recommend
out.
against that.
We should.
But we can give it a try.
Yeah, the oxygen tanks.
I was thinking it's way too heavy, right? And
it's probably
a little bit too heavy. Put it on as
it's very strong.
Here's my thought process.
Casually walk on the shore.
You should test it, and yeah, if it does work, you have to keep in mind that thing's so heavy. If you make it to shore, you're just gonna be fucking slow as fucking molasses the second you get to shore. So it might not even be worth it.
I like that
get shot
word.
as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, you should start with it in the
analogy.
sea and then come out with it and leave it on the beach.
All right. Yeah. We can practice that. No problem at all. See if we can make it work somehow.
I just want to bring a point from something that happened yesterday. We had one of our DOC guards fall in the water. A big issue right now for us to know of each other's locations is that nobody can see where any of our guards are.
You'll be hired
so
for the
similar-
GPS truck or the PD.
Yeah.
That would be for all of the DOC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just give them 10 keys for the day, right? Wouldn't that work?
Yeah, we can just give you 10 keys, and then that way we can give you our access so we can be on the same kind of communication line.
Very well.
Cool. Perfect.
We don't need to do that for EMS actually because they got everything.
Yeah, EMS should be good, and then we'll have DOC like do a different color, so we know that that's.
Well,
DOC.
they could just do the Ranger blip because that's the DOC blip anyway.
Because they like olive green.
They're green
No,
anyway.
the DOC use green anyway. So
Every now and then you'll see their cadet.
Well, on the
all they
day
can
of,
do
we-
is
There's no
CPD
other
blip.
fucking Rangers.
Actually,
Listen,
no,
listen,
you can't do a
listen.
blip if you've got 10 keys. So it
no,
doesn't
on the
matter.
day of, we probably would just reorganize everybody's blips into like squads and stuff. That way,
Correct. Yes,
you can
yes.
tell
That'd be
who's with
cool.
who, and
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, you
Whoa,
know,
whoa,
I
whoa!
mean-
Look who wakes up in time.
Oh, sorry. I heard there was war.
Yeah. Okay.
nah, Danny wake up.
Shooter
console.
Hello.
Gonna
Sorry.
fly
I was
Air
just
One
here to
too.
listen.
No, this guy ain't a shooter. He ain't like Chalk.
That's
Are
true.
both the people that
Wow.
walked in
Talk is
command or
crazy.
HVTU?
No, neither.
It's up to you if you want either
Unfortunately,
room
not.
I got
Yeah,
Luca
Pinzone,
going
this is
to the
above
boat
your
right
pay
now.
grade, champ. Couple
Not
days
that one,
early.
but the 911.
Unless you got some like secret assault reconnaissance, you're fish out of water. That's polite for you need to get out.
Oh, you talking about me? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I stopped paying
Thanks for paying
attention.
attention.
Holy shit!
Sorry. Okay.
Good
Please don't
lord.
take it easy.
Please don't doubt.
It's okay.
Hey, listen, man. He's
We're just happy to see you, champ.
No, no,
he's
Oh,
good at what he's
okay.
good at,
Thank
and
you,
that's
thank
it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
he's a specialist.
If you're breaking up into squads, are you gonna have different radio channels for that squad?
Yeah, so I want to talk
definitely
about
will.
it.
Yeah.
We talked about this earlier. I don't know the numbers of the squads, but we tried it with the Lost War when you had a squad lead on like channel 1 and everybody else was on channels like 2 through 10. Now, I don't want the squad leads to be on a different radio channel from the rest of their squad. They need to be able to
Yeah.
communicate with their subordinates. So, like we're going to have different
Sounds
roles
my
inside the squads,
idea,
like you have a
just
rifleman,
saying.
a rocketeer, you know, an engineer, a medic maybe. I want to have a communications officer with each squad. So let's say I'm running the entire thing and I'm on channel 1, and Muller here is running the squad that's on channel 2, and he is giving out orders, he's communicating, telling everybody what's happening, and suddenly they need air support backup on the north side. Muller will shout towards or go on the radio to Owen and say, "Hey, Owen, I need you to get Barrick on the squad lead radio and tell them what's happening." Barrick will always be on the squad lead radio, and he's going to be like partners with Owen, side by side, communicating what's happening. And unfortunately, if we lose Barrick or Owen, then someone needs to go.
Well,
to
I'm
that
gonna be
spot.
at the dentist.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
well,
it's
again,
a big thing.
You gotta. I thought you went there yesterday.
It's a 2-day operation. It's just
Oh, they had to reschedule for. Damn it.
No, radio person.
Damn
That's
it.
perfect, actually.
Yeah,
pretty-
so you have a communications officer
They're vital.
per
They're very
squad.
vital.
They did it in World War II and it worked. You know, I'd love to have just a separate radio system, but
Combat signalers still exist now.
yeah, well, they did it in World
Some
War
might
II and it
say
worked.
it's really
out.
advanced.
Yeah. So that's going to be our plan. We have like 9 drones as well. That's one of the roles in the squads. We're going to have 1 drone per squad. It's going to be like their little own personal Air 1, and they can use that for intel, so they're not just running out in the open.
That's so cool.
Yeah, let's extend it.
Are Snow and I going to be called into frequencies to help? So if a squad gets into trouble with something, they
Yeah,
just call
so-
in close air support and calls us onto the freak.
I'm just gonna have air support be on channel 1, and then if you hear like, Barrack on channel 2 saying, "Hey, we need air support," you're just gonna go straight over there.
What I can do, I can have whoever's with me in the 2-seater. I can have
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'd like, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
I can have
not against
Jackson
air
on the
support
main
being on
radio.
like if air support's on like channel 9, for example, and then you have Jackson on channel 1, then he's just able to communicate with
Yeah,
all of you guys.
he'll be the communications guy for the.
And that way you're able to have your own comms without impeding on the ground.
Let's do in between 10 and 20 so we don't impede normal traffic.
Do
we?
Sure, fine.
Why don't we
fine.
push normal traffic up to 10 and 20 and we have the...
Yeah, I was about to say, we need quick and easy.
Yeah. You need easy home channels that everybody can get on right away.
Kiki?
That was actually something that EMS was going to ask about is, do you want us on a main frequency, or would you like us to be on separate channels, or would you like us to be on channels of various squads?
I guess this comes under the question of Cassivax. Are we doing like Cassivax with helicopters? What's the plan to get people out? Like, obviously there's talks of having a medic per squad, but are we also having a medic helicopter that will...
The medic per squad would not be in a member of EMS.
Okay.
I don't want the EMS in the front lines fighting. The point of EMS being involved in firearm training is that it's a last resort. So I would like EMS to be on something like channel like 11, far away. They have their own channel. And then you also have a communications person that is on channel 1 with me and the rest of the people running the show. Then I could say, hey, Kiki, I need you to send Lifelight 1 to the northeast side of the aisle. I think we really need to utilize the grid system. So I could just be like, D5. And then you're just going straight to it. You know exactly where it is.
That's fine. We do have 2 life flights, and then we do have a number of boats that we can pull out as well if we absolutely had to. There was a concern brought to me earlier by, I believe, Taro of life flight is for lack of a better way of describing it, it's a big ass yellow target. And there was concern of them seeing, oh, that is an EMS helicopter. They're probably trying to get their guys out. Let's take it down.
We're going to have to hit them with medical neutrality. They can't do that. That's 3 years in the big house.
If
That'll
they can
deter
do
'em.
anything that the Geneva Convention prevents, they can
jokes
also
aside,
do medical prevention.
that's not going to happen because Lifeflight's not going to go in while the NTS is still up, right? Lifelight, for example, for extractions, will only go to the airstrip while the airstrip's secured. If we're still battling around like the harbor area, that's too close. We could just use the lifeboats and go from the aircraft carrier, go to the north, and get in and out. If we have people that are wounded at the fishing town on the east side of the island, then I'm not expecting EMS to go there at the front line. I'm expecting people to pick up those wounded and bring them back towards our safe forward operating base.
Would you like me to have EMS stationed at the forward operating base or just in Leviathan?
Depends on the stage of the conflict. Depends how much of the island we have.
What if we put EMS in a armored car, such as the Armored Buffalo, and that's what they can use to get around the island to get people moving from point A to point B?
It's only a 4-seater. So you'd only be able to... You want 2 EMS, right? You don't want someone alone.
Yeah.
Yes, I would prefer my medics to be doubled or tripled up if possible.
If they're tripled, then at least room for 1 wounded person.
Tripled is the last resort, but doubled is preferred.
I'd rather we use like the Insurgent.
Yeah.
The issue is, given the landscape and the forest and stuff, we run the risk of, let's say EMS are transporting 200 parties. Then what about if some hidden blokes in a ghillie suit hold them up, and then we've got EMS hostages? The good thing about using a helicopter for all Cassivacs is you minimize the risk, other than anti-air against EMS. I'd just be worried about them having to drive back on their own without an escort.
They have already expressed an interest in trying to extort my medics to their side. I have made it very clear that if they do any such thing, they will likely be fired, as well as the trees in charge. So.
Uh-oh.
I think a lot of that stuff will come at the day of, as far as with the landscape and the stage of the battlefield for EMS to come in. And that has to be a call made by Stubble. Only Stubble himself making that call, or the people on the field.
Kiki, you want to tell them about the triage plan we have?
Yes, Veronica and I scoped out a few triage points. So EMS, how we work for our critical care is we have a colored tag system depending on injuries. So we have a white, green, red, and black. White is basically your most basic. Maybe they slipped and fell. Maybe they forgot to eat. They can get up and go very easily. I do have pictures of that if you'd like me to show you each of the locations that we were thinking of doing for triage, at least in the Leviathan, because we obviously can't go to the island and look at that.
The plan is if anti-air is down, triage would be held in the tower of the Leviathan, and EMS would be transporting with life flight, because that's a high capacity to go
Can carry
from
10 people.
Yeah, go to the island and back to the Leviathan in a safe manner to get them treatment.
I
And
want to
then,
leave
if
one of the
necessary,
anti-air
from
things.
Leviathan to the hospital.
The Leviathan is going to have anti-air on it. I don't know how much, at least one. And then, realistically, I'd like 2 in the Leviathan and then 2 in the mainland that we have behind our armored vehicles. So we should never worry about what's happening on that ship.
Is there anything against aircraft dragging, if we have any air targets up, dragging air targets to that anti-air?
Oh, that would be perfect. I mean, we do it all the time, right? We get people with M4s on top of tall buildings, and we want our jets to bring them over. We should try and do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna also have sniper squads on this.
I don't want just a sniper squad.
I think
in the
I was
Lost
gonna
World,
say
we
I
had
was
2
gonna
sniper squads, and they went up the mountain of Gordo, and they just got fucking destroyed by a bunch of people with SMGs. I'd rather just like 1 or 2 people with snipers per squad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think spreading them out amongst the island would be best.
I mean, you can have them in the aircraft carrier as well too.
Yeah,
Yep,
I was
all over
gonna,
the place.
I was
carrier. Sorry, just to quickly interrupt. The aircraft carrier was going to be fucking useless with the Orm. It has next to no range. You're not going to be able to use them whatsoever.
I think maybe. Now, obviously,
I'm about to ask
this
this
would require a
Mystic.
volunteer because this
I
is a
got you
risky
covered,
job. But maybe getting a civilian boat, having somebody dress up like a civilian, and or like a local riding around on the edge of the water or some shit. Step out, have a sniper rifle, take a shot. Take a few shots. If they're compromised and bullets start going their way, they jump in the water.
Unless you're using the Mark 14, it's very, very incredibly hard to hide the fact that you have a sniper rifle on you.
And it's literally loud. It's very loud.
Well, not even that. It's just like, say if I'm driving, I always feel the need to carry this huge suitcase that holds my sniper rifle in my hand, even while I'm driving.
So it should be a 2-man job, right?
Maybe. Again, you're gonna see it more than likely.
Well, it doesn't stop the issue of them seeing it.
Yeah.
Hey, Stubble.
Uh-huh.
Can I put a dumb picture on the thing and see what you think? I worked really hard on it.
How
Actually, I
big do you
swear
want
to
these
God.
squads to be?
Oh.
I
like that, Bison.
Look at that.
Very
so
nice.
the deal is try to make the
Let this guy get a hold of Microsoft Paint.
Hey, this is Photoshop, man. I worked hard on this.
First thing, green should be 1B rather than 2B.
Bison, can you put that in the
I
report?
think I
so
meant-
we
I think I
can
meant
zoom in
1B.
on our own accord.
What's up? Say again.
Can you put that in the report so we can?
Yeah. So
the report would be better.
I'll fix it and then I'll put it in the report. So the deal is, so my idea was we completely take the airfield. That's the point, and the arrows are pointing at the direction we're going to come from. The red stripes in the bottom, that's the main objective that we're going to try to go for. But that's not like we have to have it. That's like we'll hold them down there until they surrender, kind of deal. So we'll start off on objective 1, and the deal is that we want objective 1, and then the green one that says objective 2B, I got to change that to 1B. We want those 2 as soon as possible. So we have our tanks and APCs go on objective 1B or 2B for this at this point, and they'll take over that island, and then they'll give us cover for objective 2A, the pink one, and then objective 3 for the black one. So once we take over objective 2A and 2B, we will then move inward to take objective 3. And once we take objective 3, that should be the highest point of the entire island, if I'm not mistaken, or like just barely below it. Yeah, Z. Yeah. So if we could take objective 3, then we get the high point, and we put snipers up there. And while snipers are covering us, we take over objective 4, and then we start pushing down towards the final objective.
Which is Y, Z, and X. And X, I honestly think should be done straight after 3. 3 should be Z onto X, and then after 4, well, you can go from Z to 4, because then you're going from the east, and the people from 2 are coming from the north, and then you've got kind of like the southeast as well.
Exactly.
Well, you're just worried about where Y is with their movement.
Well, the only issue is that
I don't know what Stubble's looking
line
at.
that Bison has painted there that follows like the red between Y, Z, and X. That's all a fence. Where
So that's
Z
why I
is,
put the line there.
is
That's
yeah,
why I put a line
there's
there.
no way of getting through that other than through the choke point.
Exactly.
Which is Z. You can't go Y and X. You have to physically go through a checkpoint to enter into the perimeter of the mansion.
So for
And
those,
if you have grappling
like, 'cause
guns, can you
No, because I don't think there's anything to grapple on. It's just like the walls, and it's like a big field behind it.
Do we
So
have any ramps?
if you look at the Y in the road right above the
Hey,
red
Mr.
line.
K supercar, just ramp it over.
So if you look at the Y in the road at the red line, those go into the only road that goes past the walls. So the reason for the red line is because there's walls there that we can't get past without